Welcome, holiday survivors, to the top 10 greatest Christmas films of all time. A list so important, so earth-shatteringly essential that I'm sure world peace is only a few candy canes away once we settle it. Now I know what you're thinking, another Christmas movie countdown. Wow, how original. And you're right, it's about original as a Hallmark plot where a big city lawyer falls in love with a man who owns a struggling reindeer / Christmas tree farm. But look, I've spent countless hours rewatching every Christmas movie humanity has ever produced. I enjoyed cheesy dialogue, unrealistic snowfall and more heartwarming life lessons than any functioning adult should be exposed to. And why? Because I care, that's why. So grab some cocoa, prepare to be mildly outraged, and let's dive into this list before someone makes another low-budget Christmas sequel nobody asked for. Coming in at number 10 on our list is the remake of Miracle on 34th Street, aka the movie that asked the bold, daring question, what if Santa had a really good lawyer? The movie has everything: holiday magic, courtroom drama, and a little girl who negotiates with Santa like she's closing a merger. Seriously, this kid reads her Christmas list like it's a legally binding contract. And of course, there's that iconic scene where the judge essentially rules, yeah sure, Santa exists, why not? Which might be the most chaotic use of the American legal system since, well, let's just say ever. But that's the charm of this movie, it makes you believe in miracles, the power of Christmas spirit and the idea you can win a court case with some Christmas wrapping paper. A true classic. Next up, It's a Wonderful Life, the movie that insists Christmas isn't complete unless you watch a man spend 2 hours getting emotionally bulldozed by fate. Truly festive stuff. George Bailey is a guy with big dreams, which is adorable because the universe immediately treats those dreams like a wheelie bin on collection day. Every time he tries to leave town, life basically taps him on the shoulder and says, sit down George, you're not going anywhere dude. Enter Clarence, his guardian angel. Clarence decides the best way to help is by showing George a nightmare alternate reality where everything is terrible. You know, really uplifting holiday vibes. But don't worry, it all ends happily when the entire town suddenly materialises to throw money at him, like he's hosting the world's most dramatic Kickstarter campaign. In at number 8, The Santa Claus, a heartwarming tale about accidentally killing Santa and being forced into his job forever. Because apparently the North Pole has no HR department, no background checks and zero workplace safety regulations. Tim Allen plays Scott Calvin, an ordinary man suddenly doomed to a life of hauling around a flying sleigh, managing overachieving elves and watching his body transform into a jolly, fat, bearded version of himself, all against his will. Fun for the whole family. By the end of the movie, Scott fully accepts his fate, proving an important Christmas lesson. If life kills your predecessor, there's no escape. You will be Santa forever. And yes, the benefits are terrible. The Bellends over at Warner Brothers copyright claimed my top 10 sci-fi movies video because I used a little bit of Inception footage, the fuckers. So I'm using stills for my next entry on this list. Gremlins, the Christmas classic that teaches us the most important holiday lesson. Giving cute little creatures as gifts is a terrible idea. It starts with Gizmo, an adorable innocent mogwai, until you break the 3 rules, at which point he spawns an army of homicidal party-loving gremlins. Suddenly your quaint little town is a war zone, Christmas lights are weapons of mass destruction, and every wrapped present is basically a ticking time bomb. By the end, you realise this isn't a family movie, it's a warning. Gift responsibly, or your holiday spirit will come back to bite you in the face. Literally. Guarantee you Warner Brothers will still copyright claim this video now, knobheads. Next on the list, and definitely not a movie for the kiddlywinks at home, is The Night Before, a movie about 3 grown men who treat Christmas Eve like an annual reminder they still have no idea what they're doing with their lives. Seth Rogen spends the entire film on a drug-fueled spirit quest. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is emotionally spiralling harder than a Hallmark hero rejected by a small-town baker, and Anthony Mackie is trying to balance fame with the fact that his friends are absolute disasters. And of course, they're hunting for the legendary Nutcracker Ball, a party so exclusive it makes Santa's workshop look like a Costco. In the end, it's messy, heartfelt, ridiculous, and surprisingly sweet, like Christmas itself, but with way more illegal substances. Job done. Another Warner Brothers movie up next, so let's not piss them off over at Warner and show you some lovely stills of Alf, the movie that asks what if a fully grown man-child in yellow tights wandered round New York powered entirely by sugar and Christmas cheer. Will Ferrell plays Buddy, a human raised by elves who somehow reaches adulthood without anyone thinking, something seems off. After discovering he's not actually an elf, shocking, he heads over to New York to find his real dad, who is approximately 99% Grinch and 1% tolerant. Buddy explores the city with all the subtlety of a caffeinated toddler, eating gum off railings, screaming about Santa in public, and consuming spaghetti like it's a war crime against Italian cuisine. But, of course, his infectious enthusiasm eventually wins everyone over, proving that even the coldest hearts can be melted by relentless positivity and a dangerously high sugar intake. It's festive, hilarious, and a reminder that sometimes the best way to spread Christmas cheer is by being Will Ferrell in an elf suit. Ah yes, Christmas, a time for joy, peace, and one barefoot man crawling through an air duct like he's trying to escape an annoying relative at a family Christmas party. Die Hard is the heartwarming tale of John McClane, who flies across the country to reconnect with his wife and ends up reconnecting with the floor of the Nakatomi Plaza instead. It's the only Christmas movie where ho 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 is followed by Now I Have a Machine Gun, which, frankly, is the kind of festive energy more family gatherings could use. There's holiday spirit, explosive decorations, and Alan Rickman falling off a building in slow motion. Arguably the true meaning of Christmas. So yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and if anyone disagrees, just remember, John McClane walked across glass for this holiday. The least we can do is put it on this list. Home Alone, the beloved Christmas movie that taught an entire generation of kids that if your parents forget you, it's not trauma, it's opportunity. Kevin McAllister wakes up to an empty house and immediately transforms from mildly bratty child to full-blown survivalist mastermind. 1 minute he's scared of the basement furnace, the next he's engineering traps that would make the Saw franchise say, "Okay, calm down." Enter Harry and Marv, the wet bandits, 2 burglars so committed to their craft they're willing to get hit in the face with paint cans, blowtorched and electrocuted, all for the grand prize of stealing what? A VHS player? A timeless festive classic proving once and for all that Christmas magic is real and child protection services in America are absolutely shite. Sort it out. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the movie that proves no holiday is complete without 25,000 blinding Christmas lights, an electrocuted cat and a Christmas tree being incinerated by a cigar-smoking Oljan. Clark Griswold dreams of the perfect family Christmas which, spoiler, goes about as well as a candle factory next to a fireworks store. He battles malfunctioning lights, exploding turkeys and relatives who seem genetically engineered to test his sanity. Things only escalate when Cousin Eddie shows up because nothing says holiday cheer like a man in a bathrobe emptying sewage into your storm drain at 6 a.m. Beautiful. Inside, the turkey self-destructs, the tree explodes and a squirrel stages a surprise attack. It's a heartwarming reminder that Christmas isn't about perfection, it's about surviving until January. A festive classic for anyone who thinks, well, at least my family isn't this bad. And in at number 1 is Scrooged, the film where Bill Murray basically plays Bill Murray. If Bill Murray were a TV executive fueled by sarcasm, Bacardi and pure holiday resentment, Frank Cross is running a Christmas special so chaotic it makes your average Black Friday stampede look organised. Naturally, Free Ghosts intervene because even the spirit world has performance reviews. The ghost of Christmas past looks like your chain-smoking uncle who gives you terrible advice. The ghost of Christmas present is a perky fairy who expresses affection through blunt force trauma, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come just communicates exclusively through ominous pointing. Frank gets dragged through his own past, present and future like he's on the world's worst corporate team building exercise. By the end, he learns the true meaning of Christmas and has a meltdown on live TV. A holiday classic that teaches us it's never too late to change, especially when there are 3 supernatural entities physically bullying you into it. And that concludes our countdown of the top 10 greatest Christmas films of all time. If you disagreed with any of my picks, that's perfectly fine. Just let me know in the comments what your favourite Christmas movies are. Hopefully, you've now got a solid lineup of Christmas movies to rewatch instead of interacting with the relatives. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, Player One Press Start Gaming, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and may your holidays be peaceful, quiet and jolly. And until the next time, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas!
Ooh, videos and I am